Toltecs migrated into central Mexico in the 8th century. They came from the northwest and settled into Tula, which is near modern-day Mexico City. Tula supported an urban population that may have reached 60,000 people. They built a compact regional empire, but however, in the 12th century, conflict and a large fire ended the Toltecs.
In the 13th century, a group of people who referred to themselves as the Mexica, also known as the Aztecs, settled in central Mexico. In 1345, they settled on an island on Lake Texcoco and built their capital, Tenochtitlan. The lake allowed them to develop their chinampa system of agriculture, in which they dredged rich and fertile soil from the bottom of the lake and built it up into small plots of land known as chinampas.
By the early 15th century, the Mexica were powerful enough to overcome their neighbors and were demanding tribute from them. The Mexica joined forces with the Texcoco Tlacopan to create a triple alliance to take tribute from their subjects, such as luxury goods. The Mexica had no elaborate bureaucracy and simply conquered subjects and demanded tribute. The Mexica society's warriors were on the top of the hierarchy. They were showed with wealth and honor. They also wore barley-colored capes, lip plugs, and eagle feathers. The women almost played no role in Mexican society, but wielded influence on their family and enjoyed high honor as mothers of warriors.
Priests received special education in calendrical and ritual lore and presided over religious ceremonies that the Mexica viewed as crucial to the continuation of the world. Some even became supreme rulers of the Aztec Empire. The Mexica believed that their gods had set the world in motion through acts of individual sacrifice. By letting their blood flow, the gods had given the earth the moisture needed to bear crops. To ensure the continuation of the world, the Mexica honored their deities through sacrificial bloodletting.
In several regions of North America, agricultural economies allow people to settle in societies with large populations. In the American Southwest, the Pueblo and Navajo peoples tapped rivers to irrigate crops of maize. Agricultural societies also emerged in the woodlands of the East Mississippi River. The Iroquois lived in villages and longhouses where several families lived together. The most impressive structure of the woodlands were the enormous burial mounds. The largest surviving structure is a mound at Cahokia, near modern-day Illinois.
The South American peoples had no traditional form of writing. However, archaeological evidence has made it possible to reconstruct the historical experience of the Andean South America region. For several centuries, regional states, such as the Chuchito and Chimu, maintained order in the region. However, the Inca began to settle in the region in the 13th century. In 1438, the ruler Pachacuti launched several military campaigns that expanded the region from modern Quito to Santiago.
In the absence of any script or system of writing, the Incas used quipus to record various information. The city of Cusco serves as the administrative, religious, and ceremonial center of the Inca Empire. The main classes in Inca society were the rulers, the aristocrats, the priests, and the peasant cultivators of common birth. The Incas considered their chief rulers a deity descended from the sun. Members of the Inca ruling class venerated the sun as a god and as their major deity, whom they called Inti.
Inhabitants of Oceania did not interact with peoples of different societies as frequently as did their counterparts in the Eastern Hemisphere. The Aboriginal people of Australia ventured over vast stretches of their continent and created networks of trade and exchange between hunting and gathering societies. In the central and western regions of the Pacific, where several clusters of islands were relatively close to one another, mariners linked island societies. Regional trade networks facilitated exchanges of useful goods. In addition to distinct social classes, island societies generated strong political leadership. Ruling chiefs generally oversaw public affairs in portions of their island, sometimes the entire island, and occasionally in several islands.